Hey everyone, welcome into the Flippin' Hippos YouTube channel. I'm Star the Flippin' Hippo, and today is Monday, January 11th. Because it's Monday, that means it's time for What's Sold on eBay. And this is going to be the very first What's Sold on eBay for the year of 2021. I will be covering the last 2 weeks, as it's been a couple of weeks since I've done a What Sold video for you guys. We had our store on vacation for most of December as we took a break and went through some of our old inventory. You guys know I talked about a lot at the end of 2020, how we were going through all of our old inventory and kind of dropping the poop out of our store and getting it ready for 2021. We're still going through old inventory, but we do have our store back up and running. Although right now we are focusing on some other things like wholesale and writing guides. So we won't really be listing, but I'll still be doing our shipping videos each day or shipping photos for Instagram. And I will be doing the What Solds again on a regular basis every Monday. I just don't expect our sales to be too particularly stellar, as we aren't focusing on listing so much as still working on the back end. I have about 600 pairs of jeans in the store that have soon to be required item specifics that I'm going to have to get to before February. February 1st is the deadline, I believe, for those new required specifics. We still have a ton of hard goods and just poop on the back end. We got a ton of stuff here that we're going through and we're donating. We're packing up the house. We're getting ready for a move in a couple of months. We got a lot going on, and we're still focusing on building our wholesale business and kind of just listing as much as we can in between all of that. You guys know how that goes as entrepreneurs. What is free time, right? All right, so let's just jump on in. We're going to cover December 21st through January 10th. So that last little bit of time right before Christmas when things are slow up through yesterday. And again, our sales are kind of slow, but we know why. In general, sales should be picking up for most people. There was a $600 stimulus that went out to most folks. There's talks of a $2,000 stimulus in the works. People will begin to file their taxes. If they haven't already, they will be doing it soon and getting their refunds, and they spend those as well. And people still probably have a little bit of Christmas money or money from returns and stuff from their gifts that they'll be spending on themselves. It has been said many times in the past that Q1 is the Q4 for used clothing resellers. It's one of the best quarters for us just because of tax returns, holiday money, and all of that stuff. So, you guys, we're going to start with the plush. We're going to look at all of the plush that sold because they're my favorite to talk about, to source, to list, to sell, to pack, to ship. I love plush. So I always pull up every single one to show you. And then I have highlights from our clothing, whether they're bolos that you should be looking for when you're outsourcing or just really good bread and butter flips. And then I have some Christmas items that were kind of old that sold I wanted to show you guys. So we'll start with this Beanie Boo. This is Wilma the Platypus. Now, you guys know I've talked about Beanie Boos on this channel before. Beanie Boos are hit or miss. Some of them you'll get home, and depending on what animal they are, if they're an exclusive, if they were rare, if they're sought after, they can go for 30 to 40 bucks sometimes, and some are only going to be worth like 8 to 12. I find them for 50 cents at Goodwill, sometimes less than that at yard sales and church sales, though I haven't been to one of those since 2019. Thank you, 2020, for being poop. And then wholesale, I get them cheaper. So I always pick them up and just get them home. If they sell for, 8 to 12, they're a nice filler item, bread and butter. And if I'm pleasantly surprised and they sell for more, that's great too. So Wilma was 50 cents. And Wilma's cute. She's got a glitter beak and eyes. She has a platypus. I did take a best offer of $10.12 for Wilma, and she shipped first class. Next up, we have a vintage plush. This is Applause, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. And he looks like this. I want to show you his tag so you know what to look for when you're looking for vintage plush, especially Applause. They printed their tags long and then would fold them in half and attach them to the plush. So you can see on the One side here is the right side of the tag and the back is the left side, because they just kind of folded it in half and attached it. And that is how vintage tags are going to look. Some vintage plush is going to be worth tons of money and some is going to be disappointing. So again, if you're getting a really low cost of goods and you're fine with filler, grab them all when you find them. If you don't like doing filler or bread and butter items, or your cost of goods is a little bit higher, you probably want to comp these before you leave the store. I paid 50 cents for Rudolph. He sold for $12.18 and shipped first class. Next up, we have a Disney Store Minnie Mouse, 14-inch. She came from the lot I purchased from Bill and Dave. They decided that in 2021, they were going to focus their business on shoes and jeans. If you don't know Bill and David, they are Gnome and the Frog. You guys should probably follow them on Instagram. They do really well for themselves. But they wanted to get out of plush, so I bought all their plush from them, about 50 cents a piece. So Minnie was about 50 cents. She did not take long to sell, $13.12. So she wasn't a lot, but she was a fast flip. You guys, with Minnie Mouse and Mickey Mouse and a lot of the Pluto, like Mickey Mouse and Friends, Daisy, Donald, they're kind of oversaturated. A lot of the Winnie the Pooh characters as well. So even when you find the Disney store, the Disney parks, they're still probably not going to sell for as much as you would think. And sometimes they take a long time. She went fast for whatever reason. But the more obscure characters, the ones that aren't going to be a dime a dozen on eBay, are the ones that are going to fetch more money. Or if they have something really rare about them. There are minis out there in different costumes and some that talk and stuff like that that'll go for more. Minnie shipped first class, if I didn't say that. Here we have a Minions. This was 50 cents at the Goodwill. It is a recognizable character from a cartoon, so I decided to risk it for 50 cents and bring him home. This is the Pirate Matey Minion from the movies, and he sold for $12.99, and he shipped first class in a poly. I did put one small wrap of bubble wrap around his eyes to protect that plastic there that you see. And then he went into the poly bag. Next up, we have a Boyd's Bear. This one also came from Bill and Dave's wholesale lot. This is Buffington. Boyd's Bears, they're hit or miss as well. Some of the Boyd's Bears are going to be worth a lot more. Some are just run-of-the-mill. Again, these are something I pick up all the time where I find them. The thing I do like about Boyd's Bears, and I know that Robert, if you don't know Robert, Zombie Bargain Hunter, you should know him and you should be following him. He deals in a lot of plush as well. The thing that we like best about Boyd's Bears is they almost always have these original cardboard tags attached to them. And they're not like attached like with the plastic barbs. Usually these are just a rope around the bear's neck. So they're not even like attached. They're just kind of hanging on the animal. But I think Boyd's Bears are usually more bought for collectors' purposes than for children or toys. And that's why they're always going to have their little tags. And sometimes they'll have their name written on them. This is Buffington. She was then 50 cents, and I accepted a best offer of 10, and she shipped first class. Next up, we have a Disney Winnie the Pooh Eeyore. Speaking of a saturated character from Disney. Again, I still pick them all up. I love bread and butter. I love filler. We have a volume-based business. When I get them for 50 cents, it's fine. So Eeyore was 50 cents, sold for $12.35, and he shipped first class in a poly bag. Next up, we have a Douglas Baby Lamb Lovey. This came from a wholesale lot I purchased from Greg. Hi, Greg. Shout out. You guys, Loveys are a Bolo. Loveys are going to be small, square security blankets, real tiny, usually 12 by 12. And they're going to have like a little plush animal head or a plush doll head in the middle. And they are called Loveys. It's a good keyword to use. They are really sought after. Some of them go for tons of money. I've sold them for $50 and $60 even used. I have sold Target and Kmart brands for $12 to $14. I love Loveys. So this one cost about $1 and it sold for $14.99. and it shipped first class. Also keep your eyes peeled for Douglas Baby and Douglas Cuddle Toy. Those are good brands. Next up, we have a Leapfrog. This is my pal Violet. It is an interactive plush puppy dog. She has been tested and she does work. She does all different kinds of things depending on which part of her body you push. I'm sure that most of you with children are familiar with this. I remember when I showed it in the haul video, a lot of people got really excited about her. I got her from Bill and David when I bought them out, so she was only 50 cents. And I listed her pretty high, so I did take a best offer of 20 on her. I listed her at 25, so I had wiggle room for offers. She weighed right at 15.9 ounces when she was all packed up, so she barely made the cut for first class. Had she weighed over a pound, she would have been listed probably around 20, 18 to 20 with calculated shipping on her, and then I would have mailed her in a priority box. Next up, we have a Gans Webkins. Webkins is yet another brand or type of plush that is hit or miss. I've brought these home and found them to range anywhere from $8 to $50, and it never seems to matter with the code or not. I've had them with no code be more expensive than those with a sealed code. Again, I get them for 50 cents a pop, so I always risk it and grab all of them I can find. And this lemur was 50 cents. Then he sold best offer of $9, and he shipped first class. Next up, we have a Thai beanie balls. This is Leonardo from the Ninja Turtles. I grabbed him because he was 50 cents. Recognizable character, very small, weighed 2 ounces all in, packaged up and everything. Sold for $8.99. Then we have this Wild Republic plush hanging monkey. So you guys, Wild Republic is definitely a good brand that you want to keep your eyes peeled for. They do a lot of animals, wild animals, zoo animals, jungle animals, a lot of the realistic animals you want to keep your eyes peeled for. If you ever see K&M International, that is also Wild Republic. They just go by Wild Republic now, but K&M International and Wild Republic are the same brand. This one had sticky hands, and you'll notice I did not use the word Velcro anywhere in my listing because that is a Vero on eBay and will get you in trouble. So if you did want to describe their hands, I usually just say hanging, or I'll say sticky pads. Just watch yourself with the Veros there. This monkey was 50 cents at the Goodwill, sold for $14.99 and shipped first class. And I believe Odie here is our last plush of the night. He is a vintage Odie that we found at the Goodwill for $1.99 about 2 years ago. He started his life around $45 with calculated shipping. You can see I charged shipping on him because he weighed a pound or more on his own. And I just kind of been lowering the price a little bit every couple of months until he finally sold. I probably could have held out and gotten some more with him, but I do like to lower the prices a little bit every 3 months on the really expensive plush, especially. And with these vintage, this one had damage because they're older, so they're sometimes going to have damage, which could make them take longer to sell. You're also looking for the right person to come along, an adult who's willing to spend that much money on a plush. So they're a very, very long tail. Odie here sold for best offer of $20, and they did pay for the shipping in addition to that, and he shipped off in a priority box. All right, next up we have some cut from the cloth jeans. These are the Catherine's size 4, and these were 99 cents at the Goodwill. These used to be a Bolo brand. Unfortunately, they've kind of been run to the bottom. People chasing the fast nickels and wanting to price low. So I don't really pick them up unless they're a couple bucks or less anymore. They do sell still for like 20 to 30 depending on the style. Sometimes 35 if you have a good size and style. But they are definitely worth picking up if the cost of goods is right. So this pair sold for $25.24. Cost of goods was 99 cents, shipped in a padded flat. Next up, we have some more of Keith's Ninja Turtles. If you're new to the channel, towards the end of 2020, when we started going through our inventory, we went upstairs and went back through all of our old inventory and double checked everything. Sometimes things fall off of eBay. No one knows why or how. It's evil gnomes or something. But items can fall off and just not be listed anymore. So it is recommended that you go through your inventory every once in a while and double check that your stuff is still listed. And if not, you can relist it. Or make the choice then and there. Was this a mistake purchase? Was this poop? Should I just redonate it? And we still had some I don't want to piles and some things that we went through, and we found a ton of really awesome stuff that we got in the store. And we had a box of Ninja Turtles, and they're selling pretty steadily. We sold a couple at the end of 2020, right after they got listed, and I've got 3 to show you here real quick. I believe these were Keith's when he was a kid, and his grandmother's mom found them and gave them to him. We put them upstairs, and we were going to give them to my kids, but then my kids were too old. They got buried. We found them. So that's another good reason to keep going through your inventory, because sometimes you'll set things aside, and then you pile other stuff on top of it, and they get buried or lost. So it's just a good idea to go through it and double check everything, because these turtles are selling. So this is Yojimbo Playmates. He's a space Usagi. He sold for $13.12. This is the Night Ninja Bebop 1993 Playmates action figure from TMNT. This one sold for $18.74, and this buyer also purchased a remote. So we had like a total of like a $30 sale with this guy, right around there. And we were able to box the turtle and the remote together nicely with bubble wrap in a box and still ship it first class. And then we have this pizza tossin' Donatella. He comes with 2 pizzas and he shoots them out of his little thing there. He's really cute. We actually were playing with him before we listed him and shooting pizzas at each other. But we took a best offer on him of $14.50. So those are just things that were lying around the house that used to be Keith's personal items that really don't have a cost of goods that we decided to list. And I think total now we've sold 6, maybe 7 total turtles, and we still have a couple left here in the box. Next up, we have this vintage JanSport t-shirt. It's sports, so I'll probably get something wrong. I think it's football. Rose Bowl, football helmets. Sure. Oh, look, it even says football. So this is a sports shirt, so they are usually good sellers, especially vintage ones. This came in a wholesale lot. I believe the cost of goods per item in that lot was about $1. And we took a best offer on the shirt of $20.25, and it shipped first class. Next up, we have a Legacy Falls women's Western shirt. This came out of a wholesale lot we purchased from Greg. And so the cost was about $1. And Pearl Snap shirts are Bolo. Any brand, any style, any size, women or men's. We love our Pearl Snaps. We love selling them. This one sold for $21 on the best offer, and sold within a couple of weeks of being listed. So they do move fast as well. And depending on the brand, like BKE Pearl Snaps can go for like 30 to 40. American Eagle, ones like that, you're going to get like 20, but they're all pretty good. All right, next up we have a pair of Hollister women's jeans. This is an example of a mall brand that I love to flip, and people think I'm nuts, but I love them. Hollister almost always come in very small sizes, so they're aimed towards a targeted audience. And most ladies who wear these small sizes have just as hard a time of finding clothes and brick and mortar as women who wear plus sizes. So I like selling the small sizes just as much as I like the plus sizes. And the good thing about these small jeans is they ship first class. They don't weigh very much at all. The Hollister jeans will usually flip pretty fast for me. I put these ones in at $11 and I had charged shipping on them. So the buyer paid $18 all in, and we paid 99 cents, and they shipped first class. Next up, we have a pair of Chico's green jeans. I believe these came out of a thread up, so they were probably right around the $1.75 cost of goods. These are the So Slimming. So when it comes to Chicos, I will pick up So Slimming and So Lifting in the jeans. But if they're not the slimming, lifting, or shaping, I don't source them. I kind of leave them behind. This pair, I took a best offer of $20, and they shipped in a padded flat. Here we have another pair of cut from the cloth. These are black, size 12. These came out of a wholesale lot, so they were about $2. And I took a best offer of $24. They shipped in a padded flat. Next up, we have Gloria Vanderbilt. This is another example of a mall brand that I consider a solid bread and butter staple around here. I do have rules when it comes to Gloria Vanderbilt. I will only source size 14 or larger unless they have a unique print or a unique color. Now, if they're both, they're a bonus. As you can see, these are size 14 and they're purple. These came out of a ThredUp box, so these were about $1.75, give or take, whether I had free shipping or not on that box. And I took a best offer of $20, and these did sell within like a week and a half of being listed, and that's probably a combination of being a size 14 and being a unique color. They did ship in a padded flat. Next up, we have men's jeans by MEK, which is BKE, MEK are like kind of synonymous. BKE and MEK for men are a bolo. I love selling these in men's. Not so much women's. Those have been kind of raised to the bottom, so you'll get like 20 to 25. But the men still sell pretty well. And for a good amount, these are the Cody Straight. They say it right on them. And they're button fly, which is also a bonus. I do really, really well with button fly jeans, especially, again, men's. So these I got out of a wholesale lot. I believe they were about $2, and they sold for $31, $34, and they shipped in a padded flat. Here's another good example of a mall brand that does well if you like having volume-based sales and doing bread and butter. I wouldn't pay more than a couple bucks a pair, but these are Talbots. And these are a size 18 women's, which is a plus size. So that's a bonus. I do try to only pick up Talbots like if they're plus size or unique in some way. These are slim ankle, curvy, high waist. Slim or skinny jeans and plus sizes are difficult to find. So you want to grab those when you find them. They'll flip for you pretty quickly because anyone that wears plus sizes that likes slim or skinny jeans will buy them, since they are so hard to find. These came out of a wholesale lot, so they were about $2, and they flipped for $25.99 and shipped in a padded flat. Next up, we just have a North Face men's button front shirt, double XL. It's very plain, but it is a double XL, and it is North Face. It came out of a wholesale lot. It was about $2, and it sold for $20.75, shipped first class. Be very careful with North Face. I know I talked about this a lot last year. Don't try to sell me with tags North Face. They do crack down on that. And you can risk your account getting suspended, but used is okay. This is just an example of a poop brand that I do well with when it comes to booty shorts. I love booty shorts. I love jean shorts, cutoffs, any kind of really short shorts like this, or jean shorts or cutoffs. And any brand will sell fast, will sell for good money, and they will flip any time of the year. You can see that these are BDG, which is not that great of a brand, but I only paid 99 cents. They sold within a couple weeks of being listed in the middle of winter for $18.04, and they weighed like, I think, like 6 or 7 ounces. So they shipped pretty cheaply as well. Here we have a Polo Ralph Lauren shirt that came in a wholesale lot, about $2 cost of goods. Got a couple good things going for it. It's a 2XLT, so it's not only a double XL, but it's also a tall size. And it's new with tags with an MSRP there, $90. We did take a best offer on this of $20, and it shipped first class. Next up, we have some Levi's women's jeans. Now with Levi's, you want to make sure that you're comping each pair that you put up. Depending on the style of Levi's, the number after it, like if they're 505s or 511s, some Levi's will still flip used for 45 to 50 bucks, and some will go from 20 to 30. So just make sure that you are comping them, looking at the solds, not only on eBay, but look at Terapeak as well, so you can see the year-long history of what they're selling for, so you can determine what price you want to start them at. You can also always check my store or Megan Mawhinney's store to comp your jeans off of. So these particular ones don't go for as much. They're the Denizen, which I believe is the cheapy brand sold at Walmart, or the cheapy version of Levi's, I should say, sold at Walmart. But there are mom jeans. They are acid wash, which is a bonus. Any kind of unique washes like that. Mom jeans usually do pretty good. You can see where it says mom jean. So I did start them a little higher than had they not been mom jeans or a unique wash. I probably would have started them around 20, 21. They sold for $22.79. And I believe that these ones shipped first class. Yes, they certainly did, which is always a bonus because it costs less to ship. Next up, we have a Vera Bradley tote bag. This came in a wholesale lot. And believe it or not, the cost of goods on this was about 10 cents. So I got a Vera Bradley tote. I had a whole box full of handbags and purses of different brands that all came out to about 10 cents a piece that I had gotten listed right before Christmas. And so this was the first one to sell. That was pretty fast. This is the Java Blueprint brown floral shoulder purse front zipper. Fancy. If you guys don't know, you can always take a close-up shot of the print like this. Not like this. Like this. And you can Google image search the print and find the name of your print. Vera Bradley also has a website you can dig through for their print names. This sold for a best offer of $22.50. It did ship priority, and I don't know why this says free. It had priority shipping on it. We just shipped it today. I know it charged the buyer, but anyway, it went in a box. eBay's been weird on the back end. When we went into bulk shipping, it said this was first class, so I had to print this by itself to get the priority. All right, anyway, next up, we have Free People women's jeans. These are cool, guys. These are button fly, right? That's a bonus. I just said that. They're raw hemmed. And I got these at Goodwill for 99 cents, I believe. I was lucky enough to find these for 99 cents, which is good because they had a small stain there and they had some puckering on the front. So if these had been full price, I would have left them on the rack. But considering I got them for only 99 cents, even with those flaws, it's cool because of the brand. They still sold for a best offer of $32, even with the size tag being faded and they had a small stain. I did put all the measurements here for them and pulled their attention to it in like 3 places that the size tag wasn't readable. All right, next up, oh yeah, these I should say shipped first class. See, cool. All right, next up we have some Riders by Lee. These are just kind of like a good brand for plus size. I do like getting Riders by Lee plus size when I find them. These are a size 18 women's mid-rise boot, and they were hemmed. So I did say that in like 3 or 4 places. Jeans have been hemmed. Jeans have been hemmed, and then I put all the measurements here. So these were 99 cents. They sold for $19.99 and shipped in a padded flat. Here's a vintage Champion men's t-shirt. So again, this is another vintage sports shirt. This is the San Diego Chargers, which is a football team. I can tell by the helmet. I'm such a nerd. Anyway, this one sold for $25.38. Our cost of goods on it was $2 out of a wholesale lot, shipped first class. And then I have a couple of Christmas items I'm going to show you. We had decided that we were going to pull all of these out of our store and redonate them after Christmas if they didn't sell. And once I threatened all of these items when we were upstairs going through our inventory, they all started to sell. the last bit of November leading into Christmas, we sold quite a few of our Christmas ornaments and mugs and things that have been sitting around for a long time. In 2019, at the end of that summer, we went to a yard sale where I purchased a box of Christmas mugs that was chock full, like 20 mugs or more, for $5 for the whole box. And then there was a box full of ornaments that I got for like $2. And a lot of them were the really nice Hallmark ornaments that still had their original boxes and packaging. And those all sold right away. Those sold at the during the summer of that year in 2019 or before Christmas that year. And once, like the first 2 Hallmark ornaments sold, they paid for both boxes because we paid $7 for both. But they were chock full of just tons of Christmas items. And we're coming to the end of them. Whatever's left in the store, we're probably just going to pull out. Anyway, what the items you're about to see now came out of those boxes. So our cost of good was like pennies on these because the boxes were full of stuff. And again, once the first couple of Hallmark ornaments sold, they were paid for. So this is pure gravy now. These are Gorham full lead crystal Christmas tree salt and pepper shakers. You guys, if you ever see crystal or Gorham crystal, grab it up. It is a Bolo. It is very, very long tail. You're looking for the right person willing to pay the money for the crystal or for that brand. These sold for $17, but they also paid shipping. They were very, very heavy, almost 2 pounds just on their own before being packaged up. The buyer paid $28.68 all in with shipping. Then we have a snowman coffee mug. This is just a generic hand-painted mug. It doesn't have a brand. There were 2 of them in the box. This buyer purchased 1. Super cute hand-painted mug. Buyer paid $12.99 for the mug and shipping on top of that because the mug weighed a pound. So I did have calculated ship priority. All in with shipping, the buyer paid $23 for this mug. And last but not least, I'm going to show you these Skechers. These were Keith's. He somehow bought an extra pair of shoes he didn't need. We were cleaning out one of our closets, getting stuff out that we were going to donate to Goodwill. We found these new in the box in our closet. And he has a new pair of shoes that he just started wearing like a month ago before we found these. Keith's apparently doing what most girls do, which is we buy stuff and we put it in the closet. We forget about it. And we find it later. And it's like, oh, this is new with tags and I never wore it. Yes. We found brand new Skechers in the closet and decided to just list them because they were absolutely brand new. You can see the tags and everything. So these don't really have a cost of goods because they were meant for him. These may have been a pair his grandmother even gave him as like a gift, and he didn't need them yet because he had just got himself a new pair. Maybe he set them aside. Either way, we don't really have a cost of goods on them because they were his. So they're size 12 afterburn energy wide fit wide lace up athletic shoes. Skechers are good, guys. Skechers are a Bolo. Keith and I actually both personally love Skechers. They're very comfortable, nice shoes. So these sold for $65.62, and the buyer paid shipping in addition to that. They did weigh about 5 pounds to ship. So the buyer paid about $80 all in with shipping and everything. All right, guys, that is all that I wanted to show you today as far as what sold on eBay. And I'll be back tomorrow with a special live show to celebrate our 3 years on YouTube. And I got some plans for some cool videos coming up this week. Let me know down in the comments how your sales are doing, what's going on. I love to hear from you guys. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up before you leave. It really helps the channel. If you haven't already and you'd like to, please subscribe to our channel. Help us feed a hungry hippo. Don't forget to join our Facebook group. It is called Flippin' Hippos Reseller Pod. You can search for it on Facebook or use the link down below in the description box to join. Until next time, go be productive, go make some money. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Y'all are the best. Bye.